Hi, welcome to PolicyStack. I'm going to show you now how to extract the data out of your policy so that you can load in your first policy. Before we begin, you'll need a few things. You'll need your full contract or just the specification pages of that contract. You need all of your carrier portal that shows what your current loan balance is, what your current cash value is, and your current death benefit. So as you land into the desktop version of your dashboard, you will want to go to your policy section and click on Summary, and go ahead and click Add Policy. In this example, we're using a whole life. So you have two options to add in a policy. You could either enter all the data manually, or you can upload with AI. This feature is a Builder Pro feature, meaning that it is on the paid version. You can upload your entire contract and AI will extract the relevant data, and it will ask you to validate before you submit. You can drop in the entire contract. However, it is recommended if you can help the AI extract with more confidence if you just take the specification pages. Typically it's located in the first 30 pages or the declaration pages, because it's looking for things like what your premium is and what your scheduled PUA is, what's your face amount, what's your carrier, what's your policy number. A lot of these things are consolidated in your specification pages, and I would recommend what you would do is open up your Adobe or PDF reader and just do print to PDF and just do those pages only. Make a specific PDF just with those pages. But nonetheless, if you don't want to do that, you can just go ahead and drop in the entire contract and it will be able to read it. The confidence might be a little bit lesser, but can still work. So I'm gonna go ahead and drop in an example of some spec pages. This is a demo policy. All right, so it's reading it. All right, so on the left you have what I uploaded, and you can zoom in so you can see a little bit better. You can also expand it full. And what you want to do is look on the left side and compare it with what I extracted. So this is New York Life, insured name. You can write a nickname for what this policy is. So I'll say Jane, New York Life. Okay, policy owner, who pays, so we'll say it's her. State issue, we'll say Tennessee. Date issue, okay, it pulled it correctly. Anniversary is May 4th. And if you need to explain any of these values, you just hover over this little I bubble and it'll explain what it is. Coverage and premium, so this has a base death benefit and a term rider on this policy of $3 million. So the total is $4.5 million. Payment frequency is monthly, and it looks like it didn't quite get the AI reading for it, so this is a good example of how you want to adjust. So 3747, and I know that this policy is 100% base, but if there were PUAs scheduled, you could add them here, and that's something that if it's a scheduled premium that you expect to pay. Premium structure, if this is a paid up at a certain amount of time, if you don't know what it is off the bat, you can always calculate it. You can say like age at issue 31 and paid up at 66. Oh, it calculated here 35. So this one is 33. See, it says 33 here. Dividend option is paid up additions. Here's some other options, and you can also it'll define what it is. So cash, so as you select, it'll give you the definition. So we know this is PUA, and New York Life, I know it charges loan interest in arrears. Some are in advance, deducted at disbursement. If you don't know what your carrier defaults to, you could look that up or likely ask your advisor. And any riders, you can check. You can fill in your representative name, their email, contact info. That just allows you to look at that in the future from your policy stack. So set up auto log. This is a great feature that if you want Policy Stack, let's say you pay monthly and you know you have it set on auto pay, you can set up auto log so that Policy Stack for this policy, it's the 4th of the month. Every 4th of the month, it'll log in Policy Stack automatically that you've paid your what you owe. So in this situation, it's base premium. Let's say every month you want to pay base and PUA, you can set that up and set when you expect your next payment date to be. So I'll set that up here. Submit policy details. Okay, so that was a new policy that was just, actually no, that was a policy issued in 2021, so I do have annual statements. So again, we can do the AI extract, and at this point I can drop in all of my annual statements that I have. So for this policy I have 4 of them. I'm going to drop them in. It's going to read them all. You can always add it manually as well. What it's looking for are 4 things: your death benefit, your loan balance, your cash value, and your dividend for that year. Now, some carriers default to net cash value and some carriers default to total cash value. The way the logic works is that, let's say it shows you total death benefit and loan balance. The system can do the math and determine what your net is. It's a math formula basically, so total minus loan balance is your net cash value. It's not ideally perfect because some carriers have little bits of fees. They don't let you take 100% of the net cash value, but for the purposes of modeling in Policy Stack, that's like the best way to model all carriers is. And then if a carrier shows net cash value like New York Life does, you can do the inverse and determine what your total cash value is based on what the loan balance is. So I'll hit review extracted data, and then you can go through and you can edit if it pulled the wrong values, and you can submit. All right, so step 3. So we're kind of building the history of this policy. First, we took what it was, it's formulated as every year, its annual statement, and then now I want to know what loan balance I have, what my death benefit is, that sort of thing. So 2 ways you can manually add it here. If I put in a total cash value, for example, and a loan balance, it calculates the inverse. Same thing if I only have what net cash value is. Let's say I say 50,000 here, it changed what total cash value is here. So it's auto calculated to whatever your carrier defaults for the way it presents data to you, and you can add in death benefit here. Okay, but in this case I'm going to upload the screenshot because I have one. Yeah, it had made me remove what I just manually added. And now I'm gonna drop that in, extract the values. There we go. Okay, net cash value, death benefit, loan balance, let's see, loan right here, 51. Okay, does round it, doesn't allow you to do cents, and it does show you what confidence is. In this case it thinks, okay, the date, it pulled the date from my PDF there, or my screenshot. And then, okay, so what we want to do now, when I hit submit, it's going to show me a summary, but it's asking me what the loan interest rate is, because what's happening now, it's going to baseline the policy and create a loan record, because I'm not asking users to recreate every loan that they've taken in the past. But for right now, we baseline what is the current loan balance today, and to do that, we log a loan. So we'll put in the loan interest rate. So I'll show you next, in the loans page, we'll have a loan for this New York Life policy at 5.25 logged as an outstanding loan. We'll submit. And now it gives you a full summary of everything. And policy added. There we go. Okay. There it is. There's my policy information every year with an annual statement with the data and all the info that I added. If there's anything you need to change, you can always hit the pencil here and I'll change it as we go. So I would recommend every month you create a snapshot, which means that you take a screenshot of your carrier portal, go to quick actions, or from your policy page, the summary page, you can update snapshots. And I would then add another screenshot. You can do a phone screenshot, you can do multiple screenshots of the same policy at once, but I would recommend you don't do different policies at the same upload because it's going to confuse it. So in this situation, I would log a policy snapshot. Again, this is a starter account, so I'm not going to be able to do AI extract forever. That you can manually update the values once a month, and that will update the death benefit, update what my cash value is here. You can see dividend history gets logged over time, annual statements, all the information, what's my cash value over time. Here's that policy loan that was logged, and all the documents that I had added during the add policy. So now my documents exist under the Documents tab and also for that policy. So here's that loan. So if you ever paid, when we start paying down this loan, you can hit log repayment and it'll show that you made a loan repayment. However, your cash value and your loan balance numbers on the dashboard do not change until you submit a snapshot. Even though you said you logged a loan, it doesn't change your graph until you log a snapshot. So that's it in a nutshell. Thank you for using PolicyStack.